Though never truly considered as one of the heavy hitters among tech giants, Reddit is a place on the internet unlike any other. Perhaps the potential for anonymity or the ability to use throwaway accounts are some of the driving factors behind individuals feeling free to open up and express their deepest and darkest issues, among others. Or perhaps Reddit simply uses the innate human longing to share our experiences with others, especially when we experience far more incredible and horrifying things than we can ever conjure up with our limited mental capacities. In any regard, Reddit has no shortage of spectacular stories and ideas to unpack. In the following story, we take a deeper look at one of the most puzzling posts on Reddit. Buckle up. Over 10 years ago, a user in the Ask Reddit subreddit posted the following question. Have you ever felt a deep personal connection to a person you met in a dream, only to wake up feeling terrible because you realized they never existed? The first few comments were fairly mundane or featured sarcastic responses to the initial question. However, a user with this name posted one of the most peculiar comments ever posted on Reddit. We will now take a look at the original comment and take some time to fully understand what we are reading. Let's begin. Throwaway count, because this is really personal. My last semester at a certain college, I was assaulted by a football player for walking where he was trying to drive. Note, he was 325 pounds. I was 120 pounds. While unconscious on the ground, I lived a different life. I met a wonderful young lady. She made my heart skip and my face red. I pursued her for months and dispatched a few jerk boyfriends before I finally won her over. After 2 years, we got married, and almost immediately, she bore me a daughter. I had a great job, and my wife didn't have to work outside of the house. When my daughter was 2, she, my wife, bore me a son. My son was the joy of my life. I would walk into his room every morning before I left for work and doted on him and my daughter. One day, while sitting on the couch, I noticed that the perspective of the lamp was odd, like inverted. It was still in 3D, but just wrong. It was a square lamp base, red with gold trim on 4 legs, and a white square shade. I was transfixed. I couldn't look away from it. I stayed up all night staring at it. The next morning, I didn't go to work. Something was just not right about that lamp. I stopped eating. I left the couch only to use the bathroom at first. Soon, I stopped that too, as I wasn't eating or drinking. I stared at the lamp for 3 days before my wife got really worried. She had someone come and try to talk to me. By this time, my cognizance was breaking up and my wife was freaking out. She took the kids to her mother's house just before I had my epiphany. The lamp is not real. The house is not real. My wife, my kids, none of that is real. The last 10 years of my life are not real. The lamps started to grow wider and deeper. It was still inverted dimensions. It took up my entire perspective, and all I could see was red. I heard voices, screams, all kinds of weird noises, and I became aware of pain. A ton of pain. The first words I said were, "I'm missing teeth," and opened my eyes. I was laying on my back on the sidewalk, surrounded by people that I didn't know. Lots were freaking out. I was completely confused. At some point, a cop scooped me up, dragged or walked me across the sidewalk and grass, and threw me face down in the back of a cop car. I was still confused. I was given to the hospital by the cop. Seems he didn't want to wait for the ambulance to arrive. And given CT scans. I went through about 3 years of horrid depression. I was grieving the loss of my wife and children and dealing with the knowledge that they never existed. I was scared that I was going insane as I would cry myself to sleep, hoping I would see her in my dreams. I never have, but sometimes I see my son, usually just a glimpse out of my peripheral vision. He is perpetually 5 years old, and I can never hear what he says. Not only is this a fascinating story to ponder, but it truly brings out a new perspective on our understandings and perceptions of what we each consider to be reality. As we each sit here watching this video, it is quite possible that we are simply living in a dream. Any one of us could wake up tomorrow and stumble across an object, person, or anything really that could make us lose our sense of living in reality. For all we know, our time spent on Earth up to this exact moment could all be part of a dream that we will soon wake up from as a result of finding something wrong or altered about the universe. In a response to a question aimed at the original comment, the user said, "I'm terrified of finding the lamp in real life. My life is pretty great right now, and to wake up and find all my adventures, achievements, romances, and goals for naught would be pretty hard to deal with unless I woke up next to her. I understand the anxiety of not knowing which reality is really reality." In other comments, many were skeptical of the user's dream and experience and simply stated that they were writing fiction. However, others commented about having similar, albeit milder, experiences that paralleled the story of the lamp. From all of this, the original poster was still able to find positives in their experience as they commented. Funny thing is, when I awoke, I had a completely different outlook on life. Shortly afterwards, I gave away everything I owned and went on a vagabond journey. I stopped planning my future and started taking life as it came, on my terms, by my rules. I think that was the best thing that came out of the whole experience. An old man once explained to me that he stopped caring about what he was supposed to do with his life when he turned 80, so I guess I did learn something. While we will never be fully sure if this dream really occurred or if it was simply a work of fiction, the question of reality will forever be ingrained in our minds whenever we see any object or anything else that piques our curiosity. As we stumble through life, perhaps we should take the time to realize that our reality may simply be made of fiction, and all of our actions, achievements, goals, desires, dreams are seemingly lacking consequence. Whether this idea worries you to the core or gives you excitement and hope, the only thing we know is our ability to keep moving forward, whether we're simply dreaming or we're truly living out our reality at the present. In the final words of the original poster before they disappeared from Reddit and the internet forever, as I think about it now, I'm glad that lamp broke the spell. Even if I was happy, it was not real. Happiness is nothing without hardship to gauge it by. As always, good night and good luck.